The daily practice of perseverance. How small actions build unbreakable strength. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to bounce back from anything life throws at them? Why, when faced with the same crushing obstacles, some crumble while others somehow find a way to rise? I recently had the privilege of interviewing Mysha McClain, a luminous force of wisdom whose work has transformed thousands of lives across continents. Misha isn't just a thought leader, she's a hope catalyst who has pioneered revolutionary frameworks for resilience that organizations worldwide now implement. Her insights on perseverance, community support, and the power of storytelling haven't just inspired. They've created tangible pathways for healing in communities where hope seemed lost. The truth is, we've been sold a spectacular lie about what strength really looks like. We see it in movies. The lone hero who, through sheer willpower, overcomes impossible odds. The montage of determination set to inspiring music. The singular moment of triumph that changes everything. But real life isn't directed by Hollywood. Real strength isn't built in dramatic moments of crisis. It's cultivated daily in small, often invisible actions that nobody applauds you for. Actions that might even seem insignificant at the time. As Misha so eloquently shared with me, perseverance is a daily practice, not just a one time act. Let that sink in for a moment. We're not strong because we survived the hurricane. We're strong because we got up every single morning before the storm, doing the work nobody saw, building foundations nobody appreciated until the winds came. I want to share three powerful insights from my conversation with Misha that might just transform how you navigate your own journey through life's inevitable storms. First, strength is built in daily intentional actions, not in crisis. Second, no one overcomes life's hardest moments alone. And third, your story, no matter how challenging, can lift others up in ways you might never fully comprehend. Let's start with daily perseverance. During our conversation, Misha highlighted the remarkable story of Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, which perfectly illustrates this principle. When COVID 19 exploded across the world in 2020, Dr. Corbett wasn't suddenly granted superpowers to develop a vaccine. She had been preparing for that moment her entire life. Through years of education, research, and facing down barriers as a Black woman in STEM. Growing up in rural North Carolina, young Kiz fell in love with science when her fourth grade teacher noticed her curiosity and encouraged her to join a summer program for talented minority students. That small moment of recognition planted a seed that would eventually help save millions of lives. But her path wasn't smooth or straightforward. Throughout her education and career, she navigated obstacles related to both race and gender. Each day presented choices to keep going despite skepticism, to remain confident in spaces where few looked like her, to trust her expertise when others questioned it. When the pandemic hit, Dr. Corbett faced not only the immense pressure of a global health crisis, but also the added scrutiny that comes with being a Black woman in a high profile scientific role. The world needed a miracle, and she was helping lead the charge to create one. But here's what's fascinating, and what Misha emphasized in our conversation. Dr. Corbett didn't suddenly become resilient when the pandemic started. She had been practicing resilience every single day of her career. Every time she walked into a room where she was the only Black woman, every time she had to prove herself again and again, every time she chose to keep going despite the barriers. The Moderna vaccine that has saved millions of lives worldwide wasn't just the result of brilliant science. It was the culmination of a lifetime of small daily acts of perseverance. This is what Misha means when she says perseverance is a daily practice. Strength isn't found in crisis, it's built in the quiet moments when no one is watching. But, and this is crucial, Dr. Corbett didn't do it alone, which brings me to Misha's second insight. Community and support networks are essential. During our interview, Misha shared the powerful journey of Bozoma St. John, a trailblazing executive who has held leadership positions at Apple, Uber, and Netflix. Bozoma's story reveals something profound about the myth of the strong Black woman who handles everything on her own. Bozoma has navigated predominantly white corporate spaces with a boldness and authenticity that has transformed company cultures and increased representation. But her journey hasn't been without profound personal challenges. After losing her husband to cancer, Bozoma faced the devastating reality of being a widow and single mother while maintaining a high profile career. In those darkest moments, she didn't power through alone. She leaned heavily on her community, family, friends, and mentors who held her up when standing seemed impossible. Leaning on others and being willing to ask for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Misha emphasized during our conversation. This flies in the face of everything many of us, especially Black women, have been taught. We're conditioned to believe that needing help means we're failing, that vulnerability equals weakness, that independence is the ultimate goal. But what if true strength lies in the courage to say, I can't do this alone? What if the most powerful thing we can do is build communities where asking for help is normalized, where interdependence is valued over independence? Bozoma's story teaches us that behind every successful person is a network of support, people who showed up, who listened, who helped carry the load when it became too heavy. And this brings us to Misha's third powerful insight. Your story, no matter how challenging, can be a source of inspiration and empowerment for others. Consider Jewel Burke Solomon, whose journey Misha shared during our interview. As a Black woman entrepreneur, Jewel faced the dual challenges of building a tech company and securing funding in a venture capital landscape with significant racial and gender disparities. When Jewel founded Part A Pick, a startup that used visual recognition technology to identify maintenance parts, she wasn't just building a company, she was challenging an entire system that wasn't designed for her success. The statistics were staggering. At the time, less than 1% of venture capital funding went to Black founders, and an even smaller percentage to Black women. The odds were firmly stacked against her. But Jewel persisted. She built a strong support network, sought out mentors, and pitched her vision to investor after investor, facing rejection after rejection. Eventually, her perseverance paid off. Parpic was acquired by Amazon, and Jewel later became head of Google for startups in the US, where she now helps other underrepresented founders navigate the same barriers she faced. But here's what's truly powerful about Jewel's story. As Misha pointed out, she didn't keep her journey to herself. She shared it openly, the struggles, the rejections, the moments of doubt, and ultimately the triumph. By telling her story, Jewel has opened doors for countless other Black entrepreneurs who now see that success is possible. Her vulnerability has become a source of strength for an entire community. Sharing your journey can open doors, break down barriers, and lift up those who are struggling. Misha explained, this is the transformative power of storytelling. When we share our challenges honestly, we create permission for others to do the same. We turn our individual struggles into collective strength. So, what does all this mean for you? How do these insights from Misha McClain's wisdom translate into your daily life? First, recognize that perseverance isn't about grand gestures. It's about showing up every day, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. It's about the small choices you make when no one is watching, the daily disciplines that seem insignificant but are actually building your capacity to withstand future storms. Maybe it's setting a boundary with a family member who consistently drains your energy. Maybe it's spending 15 minutes on that project you keep putting off. Maybe it's simply choosing to rest when your body needs it rather than pushing through to exhaustion. These small acts of daily perseverance might not seem heroic, but they're building a foundation of strength that will serve you when life inevitably gets hard. Second, build your community intentionally. Identify the people who lift you up, who tell you the truth with love, who show up when you need them, and be that person for others. Ren, as Mesha emphasized, asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's recognizing that humans were never meant to do life alone. We are by design interdependent creatures who thrive in community. So reach out, send that text, make that call, join that group, build connections before you desperately need them. And finally, share your story, not the polished Instagram worthy version, but the messy, complicated truth of your journey. Your vulnerability might be exactly what someone else needs to feel less alone in their struggle. Your story matters, not despite the challenges you faced, but because of them. The parts of your journey that feel most shameful or difficult might be the very parts that will most deeply resonate with others. I stand before you today not to simply share wisdom from my conversation with Misha, but to challenge you to disrupt the comfortable lies we tell ourselves about strength and success. The world doesn't need more superheroes who never stumble. It needs more humans who fall, who struggle, who ask for help, and who get back up day after day, showing others what's possible. Tonight, I dare you to redefine strength, to practice perseverance in one small way, to reach out to your community or to be that community for someone else, to share a piece of your story that might light the way for another. Because in the end, our legacy isn't built in grand moments of triumph. It's built in the daily practice of perseverance, in the courage to be vulnerable, in the stories we share that outlive us. This is how we change the world. Not all at once, but day by day, story by story, together. Thank you.